Welcome to Swift Studios. In last video we discussed about toolbars in Adobe Animate CC. So this time we are going to discuss about tools. So here are all the tools that we need in Adobe Animate CC. So let me bring this out for you, and I'll put this in here. So these are all our tools. Now the first one is select tool. This is a very important tool that we're going to use frequently. So let me show you how this works. So first create a rectangle. So I will choose this. Now I will create a rectangle. Now select the selection tool. Now what you can do with this tool is you can actually select the whole thing and move it like this, or you can, if you want to select this inner side, you can select this and move this out and Control Z. If you want to select this border, you can select this and move this out as well. And if you want to select all this border without selecting this, you can double click this border and select all of this. If you want to bend this, you can see this. You can see the arc below the mouse shows up when you go here, and you can actually bend this. And when you go to the top, the right angle thing below the mouse comes, and you can join this like this. So these are very basics about selection tool. So let's delete this, and sub selection tool is pretty much very same. So create this and see what this does. You can actually move this and do something like this with sub selection tool. Now the third tool is our free transform tool. What you can do with this is you can actually rotate this like this and bend this thing like this. So this is the function of this. This is part of the selection tool. So now let's move to our 3D rotation tool. So to use this tool, you must convert this to a symbol. So go ahead and convert this to symbol, and now you can use 3D tool on it. When the mouse shows Y, you can rotate this along Y axis. When the mouse shows X, you can rotate this along X axis. And when the mouse shows Z, you can rotate this along the Z axis. Now let's delete this. We have a lasso tool here. This is the part of selection tool. So let's see how this works. Create a rectangle and use this, and you can select this part and use this select part to move this. So this is how the lasso tool works. And now let's move to pen tool. Pen tool is a normal tool that we don't need to use this. So to use pen tool, you do something like this, and this is how this works. If you want to write some word, you can do like this. So first create a stroke and use pen tool and click like this, and this is how it works. So let's move to our text. This is text. When you click on it, you get a box and you can type text in it, and this have many properties which we'll discuss later. So let's move to line. This is just a normal line in paint. Just make a line and use select tool to bend it or move the edges. Now let's move to rectangle tool. To create rectangle, if you press shift and try to create a rectangle, it will create a square. And next is our oval tool. To create oval, or press shift and create circle. So next is a polystar tool to create a pentagon like this. And next is pencil tool, normal pencil tool just like in paints. And we have a paint brush tool which is also in paint, and again we have a brush tool just like in paint. So what's the difference between this and this brush tool is that this is a stroke. Let's move to properties. So this is a shape made by paintbrush tool, and this is the shape made by brush tool. So what's the difference is this is a stroke, which means you can change the size of this by sliding here, and this is not a stroke, so you cannot do that with this. So our next tool is bone tool. This is a pretty amazing tool, so I'll show you how to use this very simple way. So use this brush tool and create our stick man. So these are my hands and these are my legs, so I'll use the bone tool. So to use bone tool, you must convert this to symbol. So let's convert this to symbol. And use our bone tool. I think we don't need to convert this, so I'll break this apart. Now let's use bone tool. Click and drag. Click and drag here and here, and drag this here, here, and here. So what you can do now is you can actually move this with the help of bone tool, and it looks pretty smooth. The leg go bad, yeah. So this is how you use bone tool. Now let's delete this. Now our next tool is paint bucket. This is just like the one in the paints. What you can do is paint bucket, select paint, and you can click here to change its color. This is the same tool which works similarly, just like this, and this one is same. So what you have to do is click on this and click on this to change color. This one is very similar as well. Click on this and you can see this. Now this is a normal eraser, just like in paint. We can erase like this. And this one is tool width tool. We don't have any use for this. And now we have a camera tool here. So this is one of the improvement that is in Adobe Animate when it became Animate from Flash. So what you can do is you can slide this to decrease the size. It looks very smooth, and you can increase this to increase the size of these things, and you can actually move these things just like this here. This is tool for animator. And our next tool is hand tool. You can use this to see around stages just like this. And our next tool is a zoom tool. plus for enlarge, and minus is for reduce. So this is all our tools, and these things here are not tools, these are the properties of these tools, so we don't need to see this, but we will be using this. So this is pretty much for the tools in Adobe Animate CC. So our next part will be in properties and libraries, so stay tuned and watch the next video.